Have you ever been chased down by frustrating, persistent enemies? The ones that nip at your heels as you run, and no matter what you do, you just can't seem to shake them off your tail. Well, if you want the sweet satisfaction of killing these types of players, then stick around, because in this video, we're going to look at how to lure, isolate, and counter-pressure in outnumbered fights. According to The Art of War by Sun Tzu, all warfare is based on deception. In PvP, overconfident players chasing a low-health enemy often forgo a calculated approach in favor of brute force. But how do you take advantage of this and turn the tides of war back in your favor? In order to answer this question, you need to understand how line of sight works. Non-area of effect ranged attacks require a clear sight line of their target. If there is a wall or object between you and them, your attacks will become obstructed. If you hug terrain closely, it becomes more difficult for a ranged attacker to damage you. However, line of sight is not a perfect defense. Melee skills do not follow the same rules, and cleaving AoE attacks can still hit through line of sight, allowing you to damage enemies that are on the other side. When you're getting chased by multiple enemies, you want to put terrain between you and the ranged attackers, while creating distance from the melee. In order to do this, there are two main strategies you'll need to learn. First, players cannot activate skills mid-air. In order to attack while jumping, they must first activate the skill before they leave the ground. Similarly, this applies to dodging as well. Kiting up and down terrain creates miniature gaps in an opponent's offense. When added up over time, these microseconds can slow down the pace of the fight and give you enough time to recharge your defensive abilities. Second, master of the about face keybind can also be incredibly beneficial when kiting multiple opponents. Rapidly changing your direction and running through your target can cause any attacks with a cone-shaped hitbox or ones requiring them to face their target to miss or cancel. Divide and conquer is a saying dating back to the days of Julius Caesar, and if it worked for the emperors of Rome, it'll work for you as well. If you want to isolate an attacker from his pack, you must learn to control enemy movement. In order to do this, you must understand these two simple concepts. First, ranged attackers will look for line of sight, and will begin attacking as soon as they acquire it. Second, melee attackers will continue to chase as long as you stay slightly out of their grasp. If you create too much distance, they may get discouraged and leave. And if you want to hold outnumbered, you must draw their attention once more. By learning these concepts, you can give the enemy a false sense of security and lure them exactly where you want them to be. And this is where you set the trap. Analyze your arsenal and assess what you have access to when trying to survive. When an attacker is rounding the corner, do you trade health for time or cooldown for cooldown? When you have your plan, now is the time to spring into action. Here, use high damage abilities or crowd control to catch the enemy off guard. Aim these attacks where their movement is taking them, and they'll walk right into their death. The next time you find yourself against multiple opponents, remember this video and play confidently, because you've now learned the arts of counterpressure. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed and learned something, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you know when I release new content. If you want to see more from my channel, click the links here. And as always, I'll see you soon.